Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Cortina d'Ampezzo in northeastern Italy. We have the women's Super G on track today. So, the big story, of course, with the women's Super G, Lindsey Vonn out after her crash at the downhill on Sunday. Got a scroller going up here, an image slideshow on the top right with our past winners of the Olympic Super G going back to 1988. Countries, Austria has dominated with 4 golds and 10 medals overall. There have been no repeat winners on the women's side, unlike with the men yesterday, where we saw that Andre Aalmodt had won 3 times and Matthias Meyer of Austria winning twice out of the 10. So 2 guys counting for half of the 10 victories there. On the women's side, different. No repeat winners and no country sweeps. And the third image in the slideshow this morning is the latest update from Lindsey Vonn and her condition in the hospital in Treviso. She has just completed surgery number 3 yesterday afternoon and posted. And as you can see from that picture, when it comes back around, she has a ton of stabilization screws, whole frickin' toolbox attached to her lower leg. You can see in the picture there that there's quite the open wound still on the shin. She had a compound fracture, open fracture of the tibia on her left leg, the leg that was damaged a week earlier with the ruptured ACL. So of course no efforts yet to fix that ACL because of the seriousness of this fracture that she has on her left leg. All right, that's the update. That's kind of what we have as far as her condition goes. Let's get right into the start list for today. Mallory Blanc again with start number 1, the same she had the other day in the downhill. Then Laura Pirovano from Italy with number 2, Kira Weidle-Winkelmann of Germany, Miriam Puchner of Austria 4th, Corinne Sutter in starting 5th from Switzerland, and then we start to get into the real favorites. Frederica Brignone back from injury as well. Looked okay in both the downhill and the team effort. She works on getting just more racing miles in. And then Emma Eicher, always a threat, in 7th starting position from Germany. Esther Ledecka has won this event before. You can see in there Czech Republic won, and what was it? I think it was 2018 in Pyongyang. And the thing about Esther Ledecka is that she was one of these first ever, maybe the only woman to cross over 2 different Olympic winter events for gold. She has, I think, a gold in her past in snowboard, and I think she then had the gold in the Super G 8 years ago. I'm just going to look real quick here to see. We've got 10 minutes. Yeah, she is a Czech snowboarder and alpine skier. She won at the 2018 Olympics. This was the thing. Not only did she win in Super G, but she won the parallel giant slalom in snowboarding. The first person in history with 2 golds in 2 different events, 2 different types of equipments. So just absolutely sensational. She hasn't really lived up to that. She has, what did she have? She had 3. She's got 3 Olympic golds, the 2 from 2018, and then she actually repeated that snowboard parallel giant slalom gold in Beijing in 2022. World Championships, she's got 3 golds, 2 silvers, and a bronze. So Esther Ledecka, a 30-year-old Czech all-rounder who's reached the highest level in 2 different winter sports. So Super G 8 years ago, she was the champ, and she's still at it. So who's next? Who is next? Let's get that. There we go. All right, after Esther Ledecka, Sofia Goggia, always good for a win. Look for her as we get into the real, the real meat of the order here. Cornelia Hutter has won this year. Elena Cortoni, very, very strong racer there, also from Italy. So the Italians have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the first 11 racers to go down. Ariana Radler will start 12th. She won with Katharina Huber in the women's team combined the other day, got gold there. Kajsa Vikholf-Lee, top 10 in the downhill the other day. Alice Robinson, our first look at her, I think these Olympics. Then Roman Miradoli, Camille Cerruti, both of France in 15 and 16. Ilka Stuek of Slovenia then. And then Keely Cashman with 18. Keely Cashman, whose name has come up a lot as the person who would have replaced Lindsey Vonn in the Olympic downhill the other day if Lindsey Vonn had decided not to compete. All right, meanwhile, over here on my left screen, I will be getting the Spanish feed going. Right now I am watching these races on rtve.es. I will put that into the chat right over here right now, rtv.es. And then you go under Deportes, which is sports in Spanish, and then you can watch. If you don't have VPN or you're not in Spain, don't forget to go down in the description below. You will see a link there for a discount on NordVPN, because that's what I use and it works really great. I'm not sponsored by them. Of course, I do get a little something. I think I get a month free if somebody signs up. So works for you, works for me, all good. What do we got over here? Yeah. All right. Back to the starting list. Let's get through the top 30 here. So Keely Cashman with 18, and then Breezy Johnson at 19, who won gold the other day in the downhill, the specialty downhill, and Laura Gauche with 20, Mary Bocock of the U.S. So the U.S. have all 4 of their racers really tightly packed together. Cashman at 18, Breezy Johnson at 19, Mary Bocock at 21, and Jackie Wiles at 22. And then with number 23, we've got Nina Ortlieb, who seems to have a way of always crashing when Lindsey Vonn crashes. They both crashed in Cortina, in Crans-Montana, and then they both crashed in the downhill the other day in Cortina as well. So unfortunately for her, Nina Ortlieb also has come back from multiple injuries, was fit for this, had some good results, just can't put it together. And then, yeah, unfortunately not quite getting there. Her dad famously won both the Olympics and the World Championships in his career. It'd be nice if she finally got a medal in a big event like this. 24, Janine Schmidt. 25, Valérie Grenier of France. Then with 26, Marina Gazianika Daniel of Poland. Elvedina Muzaferia, who often, at least last year, was able to shock with high start numbers and really great places in races. Speed demon. Delia Durer of Switzerland, 28th. Then we have Yulia Pleshkova, Russian skier under that AIN country logo for Russian and Belarusian athletes. And then Rosa Pohjalainen of Finland. So that those are the top 30. There are 43 people in all. And the last one is Sarah Schlepper, who will be representing Mexico in the race. So we are 5 minutes away. Join the conversation here. It'd be great to see everybody in. We've been having a lot of fun covering all of these Olympic events. Just getting everything rolling here. The video feed should be coming up any moment now. We're gonna get, all right, 12th of February. We've got about a week left. Here, Ski Alpino Final Super Gigante. All right, Super G. Should have started the transmission already. It's supposed to start at 11:25 on. All right, I cannot get that on the Spanish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to NordVPN here, and I am going to try to get the Austrian feed going, because we don't want to miss the beginning here as we get ready for Mallory Blanc of Switzerland to kick things off for us. All right, so okay, still have not found a thing. It says 11:30. It says 3 minutes from now, so all right, looking at the start list here, nothing yet on the sector times. I'm going to continue to try with the Spanish page here, but the Spanish page is now coming up. All right, no more VPN. We're going to quit the VPN. We're going to keep our performance high. I get about 400 megabit here in the apartment here in Valencia, Spain. Again, a little bit more about the channel real quick. Travels with Tony. We cover everything that has to do with motion, sports, cycling, bullet trains, lots of good travel content. Get everything going here. All right, we do have the live feed up now. You can see the marquee in our timing window up here waiting to start, and the test racer is going down. There's a very long flat section in this race today, the Super G for the women up here in Cortina, and it does look like it's warm. I've got to go over and take a look and see what's going on now. Weather-wise, Cortina today, let's just see. Can see Emma Eicher now in the feed putting on her parachute, her airbag, I should say airbag, not parachute. It looks like a little rubber flak jacket that goes underneath their main ski suit and deploys if they have a violent crash. We have +1, it says right now, in Cortina, overcast, low of -5°C, so +1 is about 34 Fahrenheit, low overnight of about 23, so the reason I said it looked a little warm is because everything looks brown down in the valley. Not a lot of snow. Up top, we just saw Sofia Goggia getting ready. First athlete starts in 54 seconds. We're going to get to see what the lag is now. Bear with me here. We're going to make sure that we have this interactive window going. There we go. You can see got the drones flying over. Mallory Blanc next. That's going to switch to started in just a second, and then we'll start getting sector times for her. So, and then we'll see what the lag is. 30 seconds now until the time on the video over here started. So 25 seconds, 26 seconds is the lag today. Mallory Blanc kicks off the Super G at the 2026 Olympics. Her first speed trap is 111 kilometers an hour. It is so steep out of the box. It actually looks like at the top there's snowfall. It's not just cloudy, we have light snow falling. All right, 22:36 through the first time check for her. And yeah, right out of the gate, they start right at that place between the two rocks formations that I mentioned so prominently, just below the area where Lindsey Vonn had that crash the other day. Actually where the Andorran racer had her bad crash. They start right there and they get that extremely vertical section there. So the speed gets up to 111 kilometers an hour in just the first 10 seconds or so. Tremendous acceleration. So Mallory Blanc, 104.69 through the third time check and 80 kilometers an hour at the second speed trap. We're going to get our first benchmark. I can see that she was struggling through some of the big drawn out S curves, almost missed a gate at about 52 seconds in, and she's in the finish now. First racer down and complete, 124.65 for Mallory Blanc of Switzerland. And we will see what that's worth right away with Laura Pirovano of Italy next up in, what's the interval today? The interval's 2 minutes and 10 seconds. So we're going to have a good 45 seconds in between racers from the time that one racer finishes and the next racer starts. And again, our lag from the timing, which is pretty much live, right back to the video here, is about 26 seconds today. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. We've got a great shot here on the video feed of, ooh yeah, she went over one of those jumps and her left leg just went way out in the air. You can see how nervous people were. The snow is falling, and it's either windy and blowing around a lot, or it's just, no, it's not blowing too much. There is some wind, but I don't think it's too bad. Racer number 2 is out. Laura Pirovano, 22.66 through the first speed time check, puts her 0.3 behind Mallory Blanc. And we'll see, the speed was pretty close, only half a kilometer an hour difference. And now Laura Pirovano, 37/100ths through the second time check, so she lost another 7/100ths. Not a great start, but keeping it close now. It seems like several of the curves are kind of unfortunate in their layout. We have people, Pirovano and Blanc, both actually really struggling on that, on some of those. But Pirovano has found her speed now, and she is now blowing Mallory Blanc's time away. 3 kilometers an hour, 6 kilometers an hour faster at that second and third time checks, and she is through in 124.17, almost half a second ahead of Mallory Blanc. So first and second racers down. Pirovano of Italy in first in 124.17, followed by Mallory Blanc of Switzerland, 48/100ths back. And next up, Kira Weidle-Winkelmann of Germany. A really strong bottom part here. You can see sector 3, Pirovano 0.8 faster, 0.8 faster than Mallory Blanc on that third sector. So a brilliant ride there. Otherwise, sector 2 and 4 were very close, and sector 1 is where Pirovano had lost a little time. She could have had an even larger gap here. All right, Kira Weidle-Winkelmann has started 113.50, so a new fastest speed at the first speed trap, and we'll see how that works itself out. 22.66, 22.50. Kira Weidle-Winkelmann is now ahead by 1600ths, and we have a fog issue. About 8 or 10 seconds in, by those two big rock formations, there is fog, and it only lasts for about 5 or 6 seconds, and then you can see it's actually a really cool angle. You can see the fog just sitting there, maybe 50 meters above, maybe 150, 200 feet above the track. And then in the lower section, Ooh, she almost at 35 seconds. Winkelmann almost missed a gate, and now she is out. She just could not control. I told you there are a couple of gates in there, and it seems like it's at about 50 seconds in, and they're just, the radius of those turns is so unfortunate. Either it's way too technical for people who are downhillers, but she got airborne over a jump, and that's what happened. But it's the exact same pattern I saw with Pirovano earlier, that they come around this right turn on a jump and have to make a really tight turn while they're kind of still in the air. So she had her right leg normal, left leg way out in the air, and somehow you're supposed to land and then make a sharp turn. So I'm not so sure about the way the course has been set today. Looks really funky. It's unfortunate because Kira Weidle-Winkelmann was going really fast through those that first section, super fast time, up on the split time, and then she just couldn't control it. You've got to watch that jump. That jump, I think it's about 52 seconds in, and it's a jump where you get airborne and have to land into a right turn. The snow is pretty heavy. I think the upper part of the course is going to be problematic. Visibility seems to be okay right at the start house. I don't know if they've made any adaptations. Miriam Puchner is now on course, and she is blowing everyone away. Half a second up through the first sector time. Her speed was good at 1:13.25. I think the only one faster was Weidle-Winkelmann. Oh, and she's out. Oh my gosh, Miriam Puchner also out. We're going to see what happened here. She came through the first time check, makes that left-hander, right-hander. If it's going to be that jump again, yeah, it's the same jump. It's the exact same jump into a right turn. They cannot make that turn. That's two in a row. Two in a row. First, Kira Weidle-Winkelmann, and now at the exact same spot, Miriam Puchner, who was blowing everybody away. Half a second up, and she's out. Same thing, over the jump, and then you have like a 90-degree turn as you're in the air. Right when you land, there's a gate. And they're somehow able to keep it together for one more gate as they make that turn, and then forces are just too strong and they're getting pushed out so far to the right that there's no way to make it back to that next gate. So we've had two people in a row now. It's not the weather, it's the course layout. It's the setting of the gates at that jump at about 50 seconds in. We're gonna try to see exactly on the next racer exactly what the time of that is, and then try to see where everybody else, how they try to adapt to this now, because clearly this message is getting back up to the top, right? And who's next? Corinne Suter. She is on course. We're going to see now what she does with this. I want to see. I think it's like 48 seconds in, 50, 52. We're going to see. We're going to see. Yeah. Move well over the Scarparon section. Stay smooth over the bump. So they're already sending messages up. Corinne Suter, 6/10 up through the first time check. And then we're going to see. So I'm going to be watching, because this is the point. And again, there is some fog from about 5 seconds to 7 seconds. It's not enough to cause problems, in my opinion. They're going pretty much straight down, getting their speed, and then they come out of the fog. And visibility is pretty much several miles at that point. All right, she is now 900ths back at the second. So that tells me she took off some speed there. I see that she had trouble with a gate, came over that bump at 33, 34. We're going to see now. We got to see that exact spot where the previous two racers have both. She's made it through. Yeah, so it's actually earlier. It's actually more like 30 seconds in. But yeah, she's looking more clean, but lost a lot of time. So clearly the messaging came up, and people have told her to watch that one spot, and she watched it so much that she's losing time, hand over fist, and it just looks really bad. The turns are not set up well. there are just a lot of awkward turns. They have these two blue parallel, spray painted lines, which are basically meant to denote the space in between the gates. And if you stay in there, you're good. And I see that they're having a really hard time staying in there. And she is through 63 hundredths behind, which puts her back in third. So even slower than Mallory Blanc. So yeah, unfortunate there. Unfortunate. Corinne Sutter really slowed down for that. We're going to have to see who's next now. Frederica Brignone, and she has started. So again, we're going to see she's got good speed, green number on the speed, because the people who were faster all crashed out. Well, they didn't crash, but they missed gates and they're out. Frederica Brignone, 23 hundredths up now through the first time check. Again, the fog, it's just 2 or 3 seconds through that initial part of the course where they're pushing away from the start house, and then once they get below the big rock formation, those two chimney structures, visibility becomes very good again. Brignone 18 hundredths ahead now through the second time check. Trying to look where that jump was, 26, 27, 28. It's at 31 seconds, and she was able to handle it well. She's taking a wider line left, far left of the gate, which reduces the likelihood of a jump, but the following jump was also difficult. She also got cattywampus there, but she's doing well. She's half a second up. Speed is decent through the second speed trap. Third speed trap a little slow, but she is in first. A huge finish from her, 7 tenths ahead of Laura Pirovano. So Frederica Brignone in first after 6 racers. Only 4 of them have made it down, but she had a huge bottom section. Made up a whole quarter of a second in that final sector 3 to sector 4. That is now the time to beat. The teams are ecstatic, and she's pretty happy. Coming back from injury the way she has, it's pretty awesome to see. Her getting through races, building up that confidence. I think we'll probably see her in the giant slalom over the weekend. I think that's Sunday for the women, and we'll definitely be covering that as well. But yeah, this key jump at 32 seconds, just amazing. Coaches loving it. And now we've got Emma Eicher, and she is on course super fast, just like her teammate Kira Weidle-Winkelmann before her, 114 almost. And yep, her first split time is 8/100ths up. So Emma Eicher putting down a good run. Again, on the lag over here, I can see that it's probably almost 9 or 10 seconds now where the fog is an issue, but it's on a steep straight part and not seeming to affect anyone. Coming through now, she's now 35/100ths back, so she lost over 4 tenths between sector 1 and sector 2. She took a little bit more aggressive line on the jumps, and that's where she lost it, where the other two crashed, where Weidle-Winkelmann and Miriam Puchner crashed. Emma Eicher also took a bad line and got airborne before that big turn. So that turn at 31 seconds, it seems like the racers will need to go wide to stay left and not right, and she's out. Oh, she is out. 59 seconds in, Emma Eicher is DNF. Watching it here on the left side, and again, she just came over a bump and she got airborne, and there was no way to make the next turn, and she's done. You're going to replay. She takes a right turn up around the blue gate and just got so far out that she couldn't make, well, she actually made the next gate, but on one leg, just trying to avoid the gate. Very acrobatic from Emma Eicher, and she's out. So 2 Germans in a row out. Both of the favorites from the German team are done, and she's skied down all the way, and unfortunately she is done for today. All right, back to Esther Ledecka now with bib number 8. As we mentioned in our opening today, the only person to win gold in 2 separate Winter Olympic events at the same Olympics. She won the parallel slalom in snowboard, and she won the Super G in alpine skiing back in 2018. So yeah, an amazing racer there. We're going to watch her come down. She's through the first time check, 2500s back. Frederica Brignone still in first place. So yeah, Esther Ledecka making up time, made back 4 100s in sector 2, but sector 3 and 4 is where Brignone really was shining today, and we're going to see what that time is worth now. Esther Ledecka, she's going to lose a lot more. She's coming up to the 3rd sector time. Yep, she's lost almost half a second. In sector 3, she's now 68 100s back. It's still possible she doesn't lose more to be in second. Her speed is good on the final speed trap, and she will come across the finish line any second now in DNF. Holy mackerel. That's 3 out of 8. What on earth happened here? She's passed 104, 105, and again, got really airborne on a jump, was able to rein it back in, and then on the final downhill part, just 3 or 4 gates from the finish, and she's out. She's down on her side, just off the right edge of the course, trying to pick herself back up. She's up, she's nodding, yeah, okay, I'm good. All right. And she's starting to slide. She just slid right over the little camera that captures. So it was a right-hander, again in a jump. She came down, she hit, landed on her backside, had no control over the skis, and was not able to make the next gate. So that's 3 out of 8 now. 2 up top around 30 seconds in, and Esther Ledecka all the way down within 10 seconds, maybe 7 or 8 seconds of the finish. She looks like she got the wind knocked out of her a little bit. Frederica Brignone, pretty happy looking. Italy, what are they saying? They're talking about the jumps. They're talking about the jumps and that people are being carried off to the side on a lot of the jumps. So many of these jumps are right before tight turns. It's super challenging that these skiers have to either take a far less aggressive line, or they risk getting lifted up right out of the jump and missing out. Sofia Goggia on course and heading down. She was 3rd the other day in the downhill? Can't remember, but she's heading towards the first time check right about now. And she is, 22 seconds in. Not seeing a time yet for Sofia Goggia, and that tells me did something happen? I'm watching the feed on the right, 18, 19, 20. Oh yeah, they just screwed up the timing here. Sofia Goggia 0.6 up through the second time check, and she's looking really good. Her times just weren't up. You can see Esther Ledecka still in the timing up here. Sofia Goggia DNF. That's 4 out of 9. 39 seconds, 40 seconds, over a rise into a left. She's still good. Blue turn, over a rise, and she's, just fighting. Again, wow, it's like 3 or 4 turns in a row. The course setting, Sofia Goggia, one of the strongest, most capable ski racers out there, just getting lifted on every single hill, and then every single bump leads right into a hard turn. And you can see there, she's trying to adjust in the air. I mean, she recovered on that one, a red gate right turn, and then the left turn and the blue gate took her out so far, and there's just no way back. The gates are either too close together or too tight a turn. When Sofia Goggia can't even make the turn, you know it's bad. All right, that's 4 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 9 racers have not made it down more than half. Connie Hutter, number 10 on course. And let's see what she does. Her speed was a little slow at the top. Coming into the first time check now, around 22.5 seconds in, 22.57, 1400s back, solid. The fog is the same. It's about up until 6 or 7 seconds. Connie Hutter now approaching the second time check at 40.18, so she's only 11 100ths behind. So she's still very much in medal contention. Right now, Brignone has 3/4 of a second, 76 100ths of a lead over Laura Pirovano, both of Italy. So anybody who can slot themselves in there has a real shot at making the podium right now with so many DNFs in this race. This is getting crazy. Connie Hutter lost 2/10 now in time check 3. Her speed was the fastest in the second speed trap, and 5th only fastest in the third speed trap, and she's heading down here. She's going to be pretty close, probably going to be second. And Connie Hutter, Cornelia Hutter of Austria, is in second. 52 100ths of a second. I'm trying to look and see how she mastered some of these crazy turns. All of them are being taken off course, outside those blue lines, by the really, I'm going to say it, piss poor course setting today. If you're going to set up everybody to land at an angle from the optimal course, and they have to do these massive corrections to try to make a gate that is so close to the jump that they just went over, I just don't see how that's in the spirit of it. I mean, you want an Olympic to be challenged, but half of the racers have not finished yet today, or have not finished. They have DNFs, they crashed. Elena Cortoni on course now, number 11. We got to keep up here. Connie Hutter also got lifted out several times, but was able to control it. And you can see Frederica Brignone in the finish going, holy crap, what is this? What is happening to everybody? All right, Elena Cortoni, 1300s back through the first time check. We have an Italian in first, an Austrian in second, and an Italian in third. So home favorites doing well, but big names out. Kira Weidle-Winkelmann out, Miriam Puchner out, Emma Eicher out, Esther Ledecka out, and Sofia Goggia out. 5 of the first 10 out. Elena Cortoni keeping it tight, 1900s back through the second time check now. And this is going to be close. She's got a real shot at second still, if she can keep that together. Hutter was 3200s back at the next one. Cortoni 5500s. So now the question is, will she keep it that tight and end up third, or is she going to end up fourth behind Laura Pirovano? Cortoni coming through the final time check and speed checks, and she is across the finish line in 1:24.18, puts her fourth. Missed the podium by 1/100th of a second. Laura Pirovano stays in third by the slimmest of margins, 1/100th ahead of Elena Cortoni. And watching Cortoni come down now, the last 8 or 10 seconds, again, just a disastrous course setting today. I don't know who set the course for the Super G today. I know that the gate layouts vary from race to race, and even here in Tofane from year to year. And I'm not sure who set this course. The downhill, I think, is always the same exact way down, has been for about 30 years. But I think they take a lot more liberties with the Super G, and it's just a freaking mess today. All right, Ariana Radler on course, gold medal winner in the women's team combined with Katharina Huber just the other day, and she is quick through the first speed trap. And let's see, 1800s back at sector 1. All right, and again, the fog lasts from 3 seconds in until 8 seconds in. So 5 seconds of fog coming through the chimneys. She got lifted off 15 seconds in at one of those jumps. She's 1700s back, keeping it close, made up a little time on Brignone there, 1/100th between sector 1 and sector 2. And then this is the one where really Frederica Brignone made her move to take that commanding lead that she now has. All right, Ariana Radler coming into the third and final time check here, 48/100ths back. If she could keep it together, she's still got a chance at second or third. Every single jump has these women leaning and turning and trying to course correct midair, getting pulled outside the best line, and she's through in third, 53/100ths behind. Puts her 1/100th behind her teammate Connie Hutter, and has moved Laura Pirovano off the podium, who had been there since her start with bib number 2. So now we have Frederica Brignone half a second ahead of Connie Hutter and Ariana Radler, Austrians second and third, 5200s and 5300s back. Pirovano 7600s back in fourth, just 1/100th ahead of her teammate Elena Cortoni in fifth. And then there's a big half-second gap back to Mallory Blanc in sixth, and then just a few hundreds back of her, Corinne Sutter of Switzerland. So we have 7 racers in. We have 5 who DNF'd, and Kajsa Wickhoff Lee is on course heading for the first sector time check. She had decent speed in the first speed trap and is 4/100ths up. I don't know if you can see from the start, but I mean the fog. Yeah, her coaches are talking about the fog. So the team radio that they get out there talks about the fog being an issue in the beginning, but she's on her way. Lost 3/10 now, down in sector 2. She's 2700ths behind, but still definitely on medal course if she can keep this up. Wow, yeah, just the turn again and the jump, and they have to brake so hard to try to make the next turn. So we'll see at the sector 3 time here. Yep, she's lost a lot of time, 59. She's now behind the 2 Austrians, and doesn't look like a podium. She's not even trying to tuck. She's just, I mean, she looks like a casual skier between sector 2 and sector 3 here. Half a second back, and yep, she's lost 76/100ths, and that puts her in fourth, tied with Laura Pirovano. So you now have 3 people, 4th, 5th, and 6th, or 4th, 4th, and 6th, at 76, 76, and 77/100ths behind. So we still have Frederica Brignone. What a comeback this would be from injuries for her to win the Super G. But don't forget, we've got a lot of great racers still to come. We've got Keely Cashman and Breezy Johnson and Jackie Wiles and Nina Ortlieb. So we have at least 4 people who I think are medal candidates still up top. So let's get back up. Alice Robinson, yeah, she's now on course, and she's always good for a win. She's coming through the first time check now, the first speed check, 1:11. She's pretty darn close, but everybody's pretty close at that point, just 8 to 10 seconds into. At Delta, you ski it clean today and you take speed with you. The double after, you really have to come back hard at the exit. The exit gate of double below Delta, there is plenty of space there. So they were giving her last minute instructions. Time check 1, 800s back. So Alice Robinson on a good race right now, on a good ski down here, watching the delayed reaction here, the delayed video coming in 26 seconds behind. Robinson has lost 1 more tenth down to the second time check. So she's still in what would be second right now. She can keep this differential. She skied the jump and those subsequent gates really well, where Brignone and the others went down, but then hit a bump there and got lifted out as well a little bit. And yeah, you can see what's happened now. She's lost 6/10. Yep, again, just being shoved out off course, trying to make it back to the gates. Unbelievable. And she's lost a lot of time, and she's through now 103 behind in 7th place. So she lost 6/10 from sector 2 to sector 3, and then another quarter of a second from sector 3 to the finish line. Yeah, you could tell that right after sector 3, her speed trap time was way down, 9th. And remember, only 9 people have made it through. So the slowest sector 3 time, sector 2 speed trap for Alice Robinson. So probably really disappointed. She is 7th out of 9 finishers so far, and we have 5 non-finishers, none of which even got past sector 3. So yeah, a really, really tough time here for the racers. Romain Mirodoli is on course with number 15. So this has been pretty freaking exciting. The snowfall continues. It's about the same that it has been since the beginning of the race. Hey everybody, thanks for joining. Don't forget to leave comments, like and subscribe. Help me out on the channel. We've been having such a good time covering all of the Winter Olympic alpine skiing events. We started with these events even before the Olympics, covering Kitzbühel and the races there, and then Crans-Montana in Switzerland, where Lindsey Vonn had that first accident that ruptured the ACL, which directly or indirectly probably led to her bad crash Sunday in the Olympics. If you check out the, where is it, up here, you can see the picture of her in the image slideshow with all that apparatus attached to her leg to try to stabilize after these 3 operations her left open fracture of her tibia. Romain Mirodoli of France doing well, and she's through in 2nd place. We do have a shakeup up top, 4100s back. Romain Mirodoli has split Frederica Brignone and Connie Hütter of Austria, which pushes Ariana Redler into 4th and out of medal contention. And that's a shame, because she had won gold just the other day in the women's team combined. So a super strong finish for Romain Mirodoli. She's going to be stoked about that. Yup, arms in the air. She's doing like, oh yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super excited. She probably didn't expect to be 2nd after 15 racers down the hill. And she just mastered this disaster of a Super G course. You know, you've seen enough people get hurt in the downhill. Do you really need to set a course that's going to lead to this many crashes again? Luckily, every one of these crashes has ended up without injury. Everybody getting up and their skis back on and skiing off down the hill, giving the thumbs up. Everything's cool. But still, to lose 5 of the top Olympic hopefuls. We are currently in a TV break. So the big news again, 5 DNFs in the first 9 racers down the hill. And from what I've been watching over here on the live feed, it has everything to do with the course settings. Lots of jumps, which is great, but every jump on an uphill into a tight turn after the jump, causing the skiers to have to correct in the air after almost all of these jumps. 3, 4, 5 different places on the course where it seems like they come out of a compression and get launched over a hill if they're trying to take a tight line and be aggressive. So they're actually not being rewarded for being aggressive. They're being penalized for being aggressive, which I don't think is the spirit of racing. You want to definitely reward people for being aggressive. So we've seen people having to take a different, wider line outside. But here we are. Camille Cerruti, TV break is over, and she is started and heading down. Camille Cerruti of France going to be motivated from her teammate Romain Miradoli being second right now. So maybe the French are going to have a big day. Haven't really had much success yet at these Olympics. And she's looking good through that first section. Got her speed up, 1800s back at the first time check, 3100s back at the second time check. Podium now, a podium is 5100s back. So time to beat is Cornelia Hütter for that third and final medal spot. Yep, we see the adjustment, taking a wider angle or arc or radius on the jumps, which is leading to much greater distance to travel, and then of course slower time. So again, the racers are being penalized for being aggressive, and they're being forced to take a less direct line, and it's causing people to be slow just because the course setting is a disaster. I just don't get it. You know, nobody wanted to see 5 DNFs in the first 9 riders or racers. Too much cycling. I always say riders, it should be racers. Are brave downhill racers, Super G racers, and Cerruti is in 8th, 1.03 seconds behind. 8th out of, tied with Alice Robinson, exact same time. So out of 11 people, she's finished 8th. So, you know, she's through. She's had her Olympic moment in the Super G. It looked clean, but it looked conservative. You see a lot of the replay video here where she's not even brushing the gates. She's 1 to 2 meters off the gates, and I think that's a problem. All right, next up is Ila Stuhek of Slovenia, and she is on her way. Super slow times, losing 6300ths at the first time check, another 73 at the second time check, and she is far and away the slowest racer so far, really struggling with the line over these jumps, taking it unbelievably conservatively, and that just means tons of time lost. Yeah, not good, and she's out. Where'd she go down? 47, 48, 49, over a jump into that right-hander, back to the left-hander of the blue gate, and just dragged out. She's just basically trying to make gates. There's just no way. So between 50 seconds and a minute, there's a series of 5 gates and at least 1 jump in there where if you're at full speed, if you're being aggressive, you can't make those gates. You know, she just gets taken right out of the best fit line there, the racing line, and then there's just no way back. There's just no way back. You know, every single gate is braking. Every gate is about braking through that section from 48 to 50. All right, Keely Cashman on course. Pretty slow up top, lost several kilometers an hour. And she is now, okay, 2400s back at the first time check. Keely Cashman, who finished 5th in a Super G just a couple weeks before the Olympics, comes out of the fog, and she's now at the second time check in, gonna see it any second here. She should be through 40:49, 4/10 back. So if she doesn't lose too much more time, I think, I don't know if third is still possible. Looks like she's going to be more like 6th, 7th, 8th. Coming into that third time check now, Keely Cashman of the US in 105.50. So she lost 1.3 seconds in sector 3. Let's see what happened here. My goodness. Yeah, over the jump, and the same section. It's just a game of braking. How much do I brake? How much do I brake to try to make to make the turn. Yeah, and then by the time you get back into your tuck, your speed is so low, you know, that she lost 6 kilometers an hour, and now she's through in last place, 2.2 seconds behind, and 1.4 of that, 1.34 of that was in one spot. So far and away the slowest, a really unfortunate Olympic showing for Keely Cashman, but I think the race course has gotten in people's heads. 6 of the 18 racers have not finished. It was 5 of the first 9, and now 1 of the last 9. Breezy Johnson now did not finish. Oh my gosh. Next racer on course, and she's out. Number 19. She was so fast. She was the fastest. Here we go. All right, comes out of the start gate, first couple of gates, into the fog, out of the fog. Oh, wow. Skis on, poles way behind her. She is up. Skis never opened up. She came through a hard right turn onto one of the... Oh, she did exactly what Lindsey Vonn did. Ooh, big impact into the fence. Holy crap. Breezy Johnson absolutely, again, lifted out by one of these uphill rises that leads into a tight turn, and just no way to make the next gate. This is disgusting. This is horrible to see that a course setting is leading to an absolutely terrible Super G race here at the Olympics for the women. That is now 7 of the top 19, first 19 racers out, and Breezy Johnson had the fastest speed through the first time check by over 3 kilometers an hour. So we're seeing here long sweeping right turn into a left turn. She was actually conservative there, and then she hits the jump and goes right into the gate. The thing that she did was that she at least didn't try to change her body position. She just said, I'm going to hit it. It still spun her around a little bit, but she hit the fence back first, and at least the skis seemed to go up in the air a little bit. She looks fine. She's talking to some of the race organizers and marshals there. But yeah, just brutal. I gotta tell you, this is terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DNFs in the first 19. I mean, Frederica Brignone, sure. I mean, the people who finished, yeah, they did their best too, but they were more conservative, except for maybe Brignone. She just had the race of her life coming back from injury. But yeah, now we're going to see Laura Gauche. She is on course from France, heading down. Her teammate, Romain Mirodoli, in second. Snowfall consistent. I don't think it's affecting anybody. It seems to be more at the top and less as they go down. I don't see a big issue with the snow. Again, by 6-7 seconds, they're already out of the fog now. The fog has lifted even more. That's not the issue. Laura Gauche, 3/10 back through the first time check. Over the jump there, I'm watching again, about 26 seconds behind, half a second back at the second time check. And right now we have Frederica Brignone 4/10 ahead of Romain Mirodoli of France, and then Cornelia Hütter, Conny Hütter of Austria, half a second back in third. Those are the 3 medal positions, as you can see on the timing screen right up here. I've got the feed over here, but it lags about 26 seconds behind the timing. So it's a little delayed reaction bit. Laura Gauche now out of contention, 1:19 down through the third sector time check. And her speed is really sluggish towards the end as well. And she is through 1:61 back, 1:25.02 is her time, and she is 12th. 12th out of 13 finishers from 20 racers. So 20 people have come down, 7 have crashed. And now Mary Bocock, the next American, is on. We've got these 4 Americans in 5 racers here: Keely Cashman, Breezy Johnson, and now we got Mary Bocock and then Jackie Wiles. So Mary Bocock is quite slow through the first speed trap. They're showing Lara Gauche also getting just taken way off the race line on some of these jumps and turns, and just head shaking all around. All right, so where are we now? We are Mary Bocock 9/10 back through the second time check. There will be no medal for her. I have to be honest, I've never seen her race before. I don't really know what her stats are. Maybe we could look that up real quick just to give her that respect. After all, she did qualify for the Olympics, and want to at least know who we're talking about. She's up and coming last couple of years. Let's see, Super G, 15th in the Super G in Crans-Montana just a couple of weeks ago. So definitely earned her spot. Oh my God, she's out. She has crashed now. And I think it's, well, she got through the Sector 2 time, but didn't make it to Sector 3. So gonna watch the replay now. That's now 8 out of 21, guys. 8 out of 21, almost 40% of the ski racers have crashed out of this race. What a shame. She's up, she's on her feet. Again, the hard right-hander, if you take it conservative, you end up getting lifted off. Yep, exact same thing. You hit the bump at the wrong angle, the next bump after the turn, you get lifted off, and then there's just no way to make the next gate, trying to turn in the air. So I guess the whole course description today should have been, if you're really good at turning in the air, then you're going to do well. What a shame. 8 out of 21. Who's that in there? Is that somebody? Gosh, I recognize the face. An older guy, Italian suit, ski suit on there. God, he looked famous. I just can't remember. It's like Tony Seiler of Austria, but he had an Italian jacket on, so Italy jacket. I'm gonna have to look that up later. All right. Breezy Johnson has now made it to the finish line, skiing down the back way. Mary Bocock with 21 out of the race. Jackie Wiles next. There was a course hold, and we're going to see race interrupted. Race interrupted. Jackie Wiles still with a shot here. But yeah, just look at this, guys. DNF, 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 DNF. 6, 7, 8. 8 DNFs. Jackie Wiles has started. The lag is about 25 seconds. Pretty slow first speed check. And this really opens the door now. Jackie Wiles and the next racer, Nina Ortlieb of Austria, both very good racers. With all of these people crashing out, have a chance now with late numbers, with higher bib numbers, 22 and 23, to come through and get a medal. They're both capable of it. They've both podiumed recently, and we're going to see, I think, wasn't Jackie 4th in the downhill the other day in the Olympic downhill? 1400s back, Jackie Wiles at the first time check. That is solid. That is still medal contention at that point, but no. Through Sector 2, she's lost 6500s, and she is now out. And I'm going to just look here again to see. It's that series of S-turns and little launching bumps, and yeah, just dragged off course, dragged off course. I mean, when you see the top ski racers in the world having to brake between almost every gate for about a 15-second section between what, 39 seconds and 54 seconds. And now she's lost a whole nother second between sector 2 and sector 3. I'm just watching her. She's just sliding. She's doing what I would do, just sliding in between the gates to try to slow down to make the next gate, because the geometry of the course is just set so freaking bad. Yeah, I'm just saying what I'm seeing. It's terrible. She almost hit the last gate, but she's through in 13th, 1.99 seconds behind. So that is the second slowest time of the day, the only one slower, Keely Cashman. And really, I think what we're seeing now is the only person left who has a medal shot is the racer who's coming next, Nina Ortlieb. And we're going to watch real quick here when that next turns to started. Nina Ortlieb of Austria with a big chance here. If she medals, she's going to push her own teammate off the podium. So let's just see what happens here. It's looking more and more like Frederica Brignone has come back and captured gold here. Again, Nina Ortlieb, the only one I think left who has a chance. Why are they not starting? TV break. We are at a TV break. So at 15 racers, we had a TV break, and now after 22, we had a TV break. Yeah, what a sad way to organize such a big race. 14 people in, 8 people out. 6, 7, yeah. 8 DNFs. And everything to do with the way the course was set. All right, TV break should just about be over now. Yeah, they're showing Frederica Brignone again and the way she mastered the course. Just an amazing run early on with bib 6. Nina Ortlieb started. All right, Nina Ortlieb on course. This is big for her. You know, she crashed out of from the first roller on. It gets brighter and further down. The visibility is really good. They just need to get down the mountain. So they're telling her, get down the mountain. They're not telling her be super aggressive. They're saying get down the mountain and you still have a chance. You still have a chance at a medal. 12/100s back at the first time check. Let's see the fog. The fog was over by 8 seconds, 7, 8 seconds. Nina Ortlieb coming into the second time check now. Let's see what it looks like for her. Is she kept that 12/100s? Nope, she's lost 4 or 5 tenths, 61/100s back. Really tough in sector 2. I'm watching it now. Sector 2 looked pretty clean. She mastered, yeah, again, over that hill, braking, and more braking, and a DNF for Nina Ortlieb. Oh my gosh. Her Olympic downhill and Super G, both DNFs. Where did it happen? 46, 48. Over the rise, yep, got swung out way too far, couldn't make the next orange gate, and she's out. Oh man, I think that pretty much seals it. We still have 19 racers to go, but I think the podium is sealed, and I think there's going to be some backlash after this. Oh man, who set this course? What a freaking joke this is. I'm trying to see if there's any information about who set the course today. You know, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's the 9th DNF. The 9th DNF of the day out of just 24 racers. And Janine Schmidt of Switzerland is now on course, very slow through the first speed check, and 6 tenths back already. You know, when the teams are saying just get through the course as your best plan of attack, that's not much of a plan of attack. That's a submission. That's a submission to the way the course has been set. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing for Janina Schmidt. It's that area from 30, 32 to 38 seconds where they are just being constantly shoved out of the racing line with no real chance of making it to the next gate unless they brake heavily. And she's losing. She's lost 117 through the set, and she's out. She's out. Janina Schmidt is out, where so many people have gone out today. I mean, look at this list. DNFs. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. That now makes 10 people, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and 3 of the last 4 racers, all out at the exact same spot. 10 racers down. 10 racers DNF'd out of just 24 people. Valerie Grenier is next. She's on course, a little slow as well on that first speed check. Again, snowfall about the same. I don't think at all that the snowfall is affecting. It's not that they're going slow. We've seen people very fast. They're just not able to make the turns if they go that fast. And Valerie Grenier is also DNF. I don't think she didn't even make the second time check. So we're going to see here 22 seconds through the first time check. Hard left, makes it to the next right-hander with the orange gate, and then over that bump, same thing, exact same thing at the 32, 33 second mark. So there are 2 places. There's this 30, 32 second mark where people either have to be very, very passive and go wide and lose a lot of time, or take a direct line, get lifted up off the air, and then either crash into the gate, which she decided not to do. She ended up drifting past because she really wasn't back on the ground by the time she got to the next gate. She literally came down from the jump 4 or 5 meters from the blue gate after that jump, and then there's just no way. There's just no way. And she can't make it, and she stands up, and she's done. DNF for Valerie Grenier of Switzerland. So we've got Frederica Brignone in first, 4100ths ahead of Romain Miradoli of France, and then Cornelia Hütter. If there's a late line or something, try to, yeah. And now the coach for the Polish racer who's next is basically saying, if you're late to any of the spots, you're going to have to brake. And she started. Marina Gazianica, Danielle, very slow through the first time check, 6600ths back already. Your race is basically over at that point. Not that anybody from here on really has a chance at a medal, but she's 1.32 seconds back. I mean, it would be nice to see somebody get through. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 of the last 5 people DNF, 6 of the last 8 people DNF. And Marina Gazianica, Danielle, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, is still going. She's through sector 3. Looks like she's gonna get through, but she's over 2 seconds behind. Fairly decent speed, 5th fastest at the second time check, but that's because so few people have actually made it that far. Are we back up to a 50% crash rate? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 11 of 26 are out. 13 would be half. Marina Gazianica, Danielle is through, last place, 15th place. So 15 of 26 have gotten through. Yeah. Elvedina Muzaferia, a year or 2 ago I would have said she's a dark horse to do well, and we're going to see now if maybe she gets hyper aggressive and says, look, I've got a chance today, because maybe if you're super aggressive and you can hold on, you will have a chance at the top. 2/10 back through the first time check, very solid for Muzaferia of Bosnia-Herzegovina. And we'll see now coming to the second time check, if she's been able to keep that pace. She's 91 hundredths back, so she's lost 7 tenths between Sector 1 and Sector 2, and basically her medal hopes are over as well. But Muzaferia is a really interesting racer because she's really kind of short and low to the ground and has great technical skill. So I'm watching her ski now, 40 seconds, 50 seconds. Yeah, she's 2 seconds back now, but with the fastest Sector 2 time. And I think what happens, because they go so slow, they're able to position themselves a little differently for that speed trap, and then they get really fast times there. But what does it matter when you're 2 seconds back? You're still losing all the way. So her having the fastest speed trap in speed 2 doesn't really matter a lot. And she didn't lose a whole lot more from Sector 3, the last 20 seconds. She only lost another 38 100ths, but she's finished 15th. Well, you know, it's only 16 finished, so not great. Nobody's getting close anymore. Who's next? Delia Dürer of Switzerland is next with bib 28, and we'll see if she can get down the course and maybe give us a surprise. The Elvedina Muzaferia fan club waving posters around, always cool to see. All right, Delia Dürer, 3 tenths back through the first time check, still respectable there. We're going to see in about 15 more seconds where she is when she gets to the Sector 2 time check. Any second now she should be coming through there. If so, that means she mastered. Yep, she's 1.23 back, so she lost 9 tenths in that one sector alone. So really it's that area around 30 seconds and then the other area around 50 seconds that is responsible for almost every single crash. If you come down here and look, you can see 1, 2, 3 who crashed up top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 who crashed at that second area about 50 seconds in. And Breezy Johnson didn't even make it to the first time check. So Delia Dürer is in. She's pretty respectable. Only lost 2 hundredths. Oh no, sorry. She lost 9 tenths and 9 tenths again. So she's 2 seconds back, and she's in 2.5 seconds back in 16th place. And 16th place is second last, just ever so slightly ahead of Marina Gazianitsa Daniel. All right, who's next? Yulia Pleshkova, a Russian ski racer under the Olympic country code of AIN, Independent Athletes of Independent Nations. Is that what it stands for? AIN? I'm gonna look that up. But I think that's what it means. AIN, Individual Neutral Athletes. So the AIN is probably like reversed, Atleta Individuale Neutrale, like the Italian, maybe because the Italians are hosting this. So yeah, she is on course, half a second back at the first time check, 1.5 seconds back at the second time check. We have about 14 racers to go. I believe the medals have been given, but we will stay true to our plan here. We are here to watch everybody. Okay, thank you guys all for watching. Please comment here. How crazy is it to see, 40% DNF rate? It's just nuts. I'm just putting something in the comments here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Pleshkova coming down to the finish line, and she is through in 1:26.32, almost 3 seconds back. So that slots her in 18th out of 18 finishers. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 DNFs. So right now, 18 out of 30 would be 60% finished and 40% out. And we're going to see now Rosa Pohjalainen of Finland is next up. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. Rosa Pohjalainen, super slow at the first speed trap, and now she's coming into the time check, 6/10 back already at the first sector time. So yeah, favorites are all down or have crashed out. Big names have crashed out. We're going to look again at the list of DNFs because it's craziness. Kira Weidle Winkelmann right away up top in that about that 30-second mark with that jump that takes them almost to the gate that they're supposed to make a really tight turn at. If you're in the air, you can't turn 90 degrees. You might be able to change the way your skis are pointing, but to make that next gate just not happening, and we saw 3 people go down there and 6 people go down at about 50 seconds. So Kira Weidle Winkelmann and Emma Eicher, the 2 German favorites for this, both out. Miriam Puchner of Austria, Nina Ortlieb, the two of the favorites from Austria, both out. Sofia Goggia, always good for this, for a medal, out. Esther Ledecka, who won this in 2018, out. And then, who else was it? Breezy Johnson, also the gold medal winner in the downhill the other day on Sunday, out as well. All right, so Rosa Pohjalainen has finished. So 19 out of 30 have gotten through, 11 have not. Barbara Novakova of Czechia is next, and she will be coming down in just a second. Are we a TV timeout? All right, we're at a TV timeout. Guys, please give me your comments here. Is this ridiculous when almost 40% of the racers don't finish because the course is set so badly in an Olympics? I mean, it's just ridiculous, in my opinion, to see this rate of DNF. It's not the snowfall, it's not the visibility. That little bit of snow at the beginning is not causing the issues. That 4 seconds of fog is not causing the issues. We see people get past there with really fast first speed trap speeds, and then it just goes into all of these uphill jumps where you're coming out of a compression to a rise and you're getting lifted off in the air, and by the time you come down and land on that, if you're taking the aggressive line, you're already at the gate, and the gate's not a gentle turn. The gate is a heavy right turn. If you go wide, you lose so much time. You get a better line, but you lose time. I'm going to be curious to watch when they replay parts of Frederica Brignone's race here to see exactly how she took those 2 sections. The 2 sections around 30 seconds in and around 50 seconds in, where all of these racers have had their problems. Other than Breezy Johnson, she just blew up right away on that first part, right after the beginning of the big initial speed drop, and went pretty heavy into the netting. But the one lucky thing, knock on wood, is that nobody has been hurt. All right, start interval is down to 1:30, which is about the amount of time it takes to get down. Barbara Novakova of Czechia is now on course, and she's coming through the first time check in, should be any second now, 22:82. So she's through in 22:82, about 4/10 off the pace. She'll be heading now about 15 seconds, 13 seconds or so, about 42 seconds in at sector 2. So far looks pretty solid. Yeah, 1:28. She didn't lose as much as Rosa Pohjalainen before her. Yeah, again, she's outside the blue lines, the best, the racing line. She's outside that on several of the turns. Did a nice job through that big double S in the 30-something second area where a lot of people went out. But yeah, just going so much slower. I mean, the top racers, they're aggressive. They're super fast, and they're being punished for it today, for being aggressive and fast. If you're supposed to slow down on some parts of the course so that you get through, it's not an Olympic race for me. I mean, you're supposed to Super G. It's a Super G that averages something like 90 to 100 kilometers an hour. Seeing the world's top skiers crash out of this and have to break in between gates and miss gates because the course setting won't allow you to ski aggressively. Novikova is through 2.17 behind in 14th. Good for her. And it's boom, boom, boom right now. Giordina Caminal Santure of Andorra is next, and she is on course, losing 0.6 through the first sector time as well. All right, Novikova pretty happy with herself with a 14th place finish. 14 out of, what is it, 20 finishers now? Yeah, 14th out of 20 finishers for Barbara Novikova of Czechia. And next we have Giordina Caminal Santure is a DNF, and the same thing at the same spot. She's out. DNF for Andorra, DNF for Giordina Caminal Santure as the same thing. Over the bump, trying to make it back to a gate after being lifted in the air and trying to somehow, mess with the laws of physics that say that you can turn while you're flying in a straight line. You can't make 90-degree turns when you're in the air. It just doesn't work that way. Number 33 is next, and she's on course, and it's Elisa Maria Negri, also of Czechia. So maybe she can take some motivation from the fact that Barbara Novikova, her teammate, finished 14th, just 2 start numbers ahead of her, and she is on course. 8900s back at the first speed check. That's not going to cut it. So not quite as good as her teammate just did. Really, pretty incredible finish there. Lower section was very good for Novikova, and that got her rewarded with 14th place. I think she's going to be quite happy with that because she's not somebody who gets points regularly in the FIS World Cup races, but today 14th, if that had been a FIS race, that would have been decent points. Elisa Maria Negri really struggling now, 4.5 seconds back. You can see that she's just trying to manage braking and braking and braking. And if you brake right where they go into this one compression and flat area, there's just no way you're taking speed with you. I mean, look at her last speed check here. 10 kilometers an hour off the pace, and she's finished almost 6 seconds back, which puts her dead last, just a few hundreds behind Rosa Pohjalainen. All right, next up is Francesca Baruzzi Fariol of Argentina, and then Cassidy Gray on course. On deck is Francesca Baruzzi Fariol. Cassidy Gray, 0.8 back at the first time check. Not even a bad speed, but that was first, 10-12 seconds. You've got to be better. Got to set you up for it. 1.5 seconds back now. Cassidy Gray losing 7 to 0.8 at each sector time. And down here in the bottom of the screen, you can still see our top 3, and they will remain our medal winners. Frederica Brignone takes gold in 1:23.42. Italian racer who's come back from pretty serious injury suffered last year. Just getting back into racing. Had only 1 or 2 races before the Olympics to get herself in. And Cassidy Gray is out. Lifted up over the bump and went flying. I'm telling you, she actually flew over the next gate. No, she didn't. She came down 8 feet in front of the gate. If you get lifted up and through the air and you don't land until 8 or 9 feet before the next gate, you're not making the gate. Cassidy Gray of Canada, a DNF. We now have 21 people through out of 34. 21 through, 13 out. Anastasia Shepilenko, we saw her in the downhill the other day, I believe. She is up next. Is she? Is she out too? I think she's out as well. Yep. Same thing. Lifted up on the jump, and there's just no way to make the next gate. So she didn't even make the first time check. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was because of the TV lag here. That was the wrong thing. My bad. Anastasia Shepilenko. I'm still trying to see. I mean, we saw Cassidy Gray, DNF. Oh no, that was 35. That was Francesca Baruzzi Fariol, who DNF'd there. Didn't even make it to the first time check. Anastasia Shepilenko now started. So 21 have finished, 14 DNFs. Shepilenko with one of the worst first sector speeds in 34th up top there, and she's DNF. I'm just going to watch over here. There's almost no fog left at all at the top. Fog's gone. Visibility is fantastic. And she got lifted up and went through a gate about 15 seconds in. I mean, look at the timing thing here. 34 DNF. 36 DNF. What happened to 35? Who was 35? Baruzzi Fariol was 30. She DNF'd. So the last three now have DNF'd, and 4 of the last 5 have DNF'd. And we only have 6 racers left at the top. The shit show is nearly over. It's been a terrible race for most people. A lot of favorites out, but a wonderful event, comeback story for Frederica Brignone. She will take gold. Nobody can touch her now with these last 5-6 Olympic spirit racers. I call them, people who, yes, they are good skiers. They kick my ass every which way, but they're just so far off the pace here when you have people finishing 5 or 6 seconds, 7, 8 seconds behind. It's all about the Olympics. It's about the spirit. It's about representing your country. It's not about winning a race or even finishing in the top 10 or anything like that. Matilda Schrenke. I don't know if we have Leon or Thomas watching today. They were watching the other day during the downhill. This is their sister. We had them on the live stream with us. We were chatting a little bit. Leon and Thomas Schrenke, sister Matilda, is next on course with bib 37. Just waiting for her number to switch to started. She is skiing for Chile, born in Chile down there, but with obviously German name. And she's just about to start here. I wonder if there's either another TV break or they're trying to fix a gate. All right, Matilda Schrenke has started, on course now and on her way. Going to see what she can do here. 3.5 kilometers slower at the first speed trap. That's about on par with the last few racers who have made it that far have done. Right now, I'm just hoping that everybody, the remaining 5 or 6 racers, get down the hill. Okay, Matilda Schrenke 1.19 behind. That puts her in 22nd at this point. Coming into sector 2 now. This is the really hard section that they've been dealing with. Coming in that 30 to 35 second to get through there. She's made it through there, 2.5 seconds back, still in 22nd. And heading for sector 3, so at that 50, this would put her, right now she's on pace to finish last, but hey, we'd like to see people finish, and we're hoping Matilda will do that right now. All right, coming up to sector 3, should be there any second, and she's through, 4.29 seconds back. That puts her in 21st. She may not end up last. Let's hope for Matilda now. Just finish this out. Speed's a little bit off, but still staying in that 21st, 22nd range, and she's across the finish line. Matilda Schrenke, no, DNF, what happened? She was on the final. She was on the final few seconds. Got through that gate, got through that orange left-hander, blue right-hander, orange left-hander, up. And then she just got swung out too far and she couldn't make it. No. 3 gates from the end. Matilda Schrenke, DNF. Oh, she's going to be upset about that. Yeah, she's smacking her helmet. She's so upset. Just 3 gates from the finish. Again, it's just too much of being shoved out to the side and not able to make the next gate. I've said it probably 50 times today. Somebody who gets pushed too far off course because of these lifts. Disappointing, very disappointing. Elena Labastova is next, and she is through the second time check, 1.86 back, which would put her 20th. So now we've had 37 people go down and only 21 finish. So 21 out of 37, can't do the math in my head. 21 out of 37 is 57%. Only 57% have made it through. 43% are DNFs. Thankfully, nobody hurt. So just a really poor course setting. Elena Labastova does get through though, 4.5 seconds back in 1:27.94, and she finishes 20th out of 22 finishers. So 22 finishers out of 38. We're going to just be able to barely stay above half the people finishing the race. That's a real shame. We've got 4 left, and Nicole Begue of Argentina is on course, 4.5 kilometers an hour slower at the first speed check. The fog, not an issue at all anymore. The entire really steep part in the beginning of the course is full visibility. And Nicole Begue 8/10 back at the first time check. And we're going to see here, so Argentina, first we had Chile, and now we have Argentina. But now she's lost a ton of time between Sector 1 and Sector 2, 2 seconds back. But again, we'd like to see people finish. We'd like to see more people finish the race down here, have their moment of crossing the finish line in an Olympics. One never knows if this is their only time ever making it. So again, just hoping that people make it through the Olympics. All right, Nicole Begue coming up to the third and final sector timing. Got to see what happens here, because I'm not seeing her time pop up, and we've already caught up on screen over there. So I think the timing system has had a bit of a hiccup, because I'm seeing her still skiing. I'm not seeing any new times for Nicole Begue of Argentina with bib 39. But she's finished. So whatever happened there, we had a bit of a hiccup with the timing system. They left the times for Elena Labastova up there, but we can see now 1:28.68 for Nicole Begue, 5.27 seconds back, and a big smile because she finished the race at the Olympics in 21st place. So nice ski suit, blue and yellow, Argentinian colors. Good for her. We're seeing now Romain Miradoli, super happy, going around. We've got her super excited about her silver medal. Rebecca Jankova now of Slovakia on course. 3 racers to go, guys, just 3 racers to go. And again, you can see here the medals are given. Frederica Brignone of Italy in 123.41 will take the gold. Romain Miroduli of France, 4100s back, takes silver. Cornelia Hütter of Austria, 5200s back, will take third, beating out her countrywoman Ariana Radler, who just 1/100th behind out of the medals in fourth. Kasia Vikhoff Lee in fifth, a good quarter of a second further back, tied with Lira Pirovano of Italy for fifth. In seventh, we have Elena Cortoni, just 100th behind those two. Then Camille Cerruti of France, 1 second back in eighth. Alice Robinson tied with her for eighth. And then Mallory Blanc, who started all of this off for us an hour and a half ago, finishes 10th, 124 back. Best American finisher today, pretty disappointing. Jackie Wiles in 13th, Keely Cashman in 15th. When she came down as the 18th skier and finished 15th, we thought, this isn't great. But because of all the crashes, she's held at 15th position. And now we have Rebecca Yankova is through in 21st, 5.1 seconds back. Alexandra Shorokhodova of Kazakhstan is on course, 3.6 seconds back through the second time check. So really just skiing to get down the mountain now. Again, being swept off the course. Oh, got completely horizontal there, perpendicular to the, I'm going to pick a direction, perpendicular to the slope under full braking. And you can see that the speed, 5.5 seconds back already. She's going to end up close to 8 seconds behind, almost 11 kilometers an hour off the pace at the final speed trap, and that's going to make a super slow time. I think she's going to end up about 8 seconds, 7.81 seconds behind. 25th out of 41, 25th position, which is the last place for those who have finished. So 25 finished, 16 did not finish, and we have just two left. Kiana Krieziu of Kosovo, and she's through super slowest time maybe through the first sector, 7.8 kilometers an hour slower than the leading time through that first speed trap, and now she's 2.25 seconds back at the first time check. So yeah, disappointing race, guys. For all of you who have watched, thanks for watching. We will, let this roll for the next couple minutes to get these last two racers across. Kiana Krieziu of Kosovo is through sector 2, 6 seconds behind. This looks like she may end up 10 to 12 seconds back. An absolute disgrace of a race as far as the course setting, in my opinion, setting people up for failure if they're aggressive. Basically telling people, be less aggressive, take a wider line, and don't crash out. I don't see how that's the Olympic motto. Play it safe and don't crash. Not to take away anything from Frederica Brignone. She went down with a early bib 6. She was aggressive. She's coming back from injury and really wanted this. So, absolutely hats off to her. Okay, Kiana Krieziu is a DNF. We got to see. Yep, same thing. Lifted up, past the gate. No chance to recover. So she is out of the race, and there's just one more left. Sarah Schlepper of Mexico, and she is on her way. So that's it, guys. This is the final racer, Sarah Schlepper. I don't know her story. It'd be interesting to see. German name, racing for Mexico. She is a 46-year-old alpine skier who's been skiing for 31 years. She competed for the U.S. back in the Winter Olympics from 1998 to 2010. What a story here. And later competed for Mexico. So this is her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, her seventh Olympic Games. This is a cool story. We got to watch to see that she actually makes it all the way down. So far, so good. She's still in it. 46 years old. Sarah Schlepper, originally from the U.S., skied for the U.S. for 4 Olympiads, and now this is her 3rd Olympiad for Mexico. She's on her way. She's making it. She's treating it a little bit more like a giant slalom, to be honest. Oh, almost missed that orange gate, about 103 through, but held it together, did the conservative thing. Yeah, the maturity of a 46-year-old woman here, saying, I am here to get down all the way down the hill, and she does. And she finishes 26th, almost 8 seconds back, 7.9 seconds back. Sarah Schlepper, one more time, 1, 2, 98, 02, 06, 010, 4 times with the Olympics, in the Olympics for the Americans, 3 times now for Mexico. That gives her 7 Olympic appearances, and she is rocking and rolling. She is loving it that she made it through. Finished 26th place. Let's go down and look at that. It is the slowest time by just 15,100 slower than Skorohodova of Kazakhstan. But Sarah Schlepper is through 26th, last place, which means 17 DNFs. So 17 out of 43 gives us 40%. 40% of the racers did not make it out of the course, off the course, and through the finish line. All right, back to the medals, guys. Back to the medals. We're going to come right up here and look at the medals. We have Frederica Brignone winning the race from start position 6 by a sizable margin, 0.4 of a second. Italy's comeback kid this year, Federica Brignone, in first in 1:23.41, 0.4 ahead of Romain Mirodoli of France, who finishes second. And then Cornelia Hütter by 1/100th over her teammate from Austria, Ariane Radler, who won gold in the women's team combined the other day. Cornelia Hütter takes third, 5,200ths back, just 1/100th ahead of Ariane Radler. Yeah, Kajsa Wickhoff-Lee in fifth, tied with Laura Pirovano of Italy, 7th for Elena Cortoni of Italy. So 3 Italians in the top 7, 2 Austrians in the top 4, 2 French in the top 8, and then Camille Cerruti of France, 8th, tied with Alice Robinson, 1.03 back. And then in 10th, Mallory Blanc of Switzerland, ahead of Corinne Sutter of Switzerland as well. In 11th, Laura Gauche finishes 12th, the best American. Jackie Wiles in 13th, almost 2 full seconds back. And then one of the bigger surprises, Barbara Novakova of Czechia, 14th, with bib position 31, start number 31. Great result for her. Keely Cashman in 15th. Elvedina Muzaffaria in 16th. Delia Durer of Switzerland in 17th. Marina Gazianitsa Danielle in 18th. Julia Pleshkova in 19th. And Elena Lavastova in 20th. Finishing the last 6, Rebecca Yankova of Slovakia, 21st. Nicole Begui of Argentina, 22nd. Rosa Poholainen of Finland, 23rd. Elisa Maria Negri of Czechia in 24th. Alexandra Skorohodova in 25th. And Sarah Schlepper, the 46-year-old 7-time Olympian, rounding out the field in 26th. I'm seeing Federica Brignone's winning run there, and then Cornelia Hütter's third place run. There wasn't a perfect run out there. Brignone was as close as you're going to get, and ended up, winning by 4/10. Romain Mirodoli had a solid run all around, just losing a little bit of time through every sector to Brignone, 300s, 800s, 1800s, and 1200s. So really, really solid, especially down the bottom there to stay really close. And yeah, the section that cost Ariana Radler her medal was sector 3. She was only the 6th fastest there. So yeah, definitely a super solid race all around. Brignone, not that great up top in sector 1 and sector 2, just 6th and 7th at those time checks, but then absolutely blew everybody away in sector 3 and sector 4 to take gold for Italy here. Italy doing really well with the medals in this Olympics, although I think they had like two gold, 2 silver, and like 8 bronze. So nice for them to get a gold again. I think it's their 3rd. Now we're watching Brignone again push out of the start house, seeing her carve. Just doing a really, really good job of managing those tough turns and bumps that launched 17 people out of this race. All right, guys, tomorrow's an off day. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't seen the image slider up here, picture of Lindsey Vonn from the hospital that she posted on her Instagram late yesterday, showing her with all those external screws to immobilize that left lower leg. You can even see a little bit of the openness, a fully open fracture with a compound fracture of the left tibia. 3 operations already for Lindsey Vonn. Probably another couple until they can get that bone back the way it should be. She's not going to be walking well anytime soon. And then she still has to deal with that ruptured ACL and damaged meniscus from the crash in Crans-Montana that led to all the problems for Lindsey Vonn, and then crashing out of the Olympics downhill, and of course not being able to race today. So unfortunate way, what a comeback after having her right knee replaced, and then they're showing the Americans all hugging each other and happy, but I'm not sure exactly why. The best place finisher was Jackie Wiles at 13th today, so not much to celebrate. But yeah, back to Lindsey Vonn, as you see there in the picture, completely immobilized. She's probably going to be in the hospital for several weeks. But exciting for Frederica Brignone. Also a comeback story this year after a bad injury last year near the end of the season. And then Romain Mirodoli in second, taking silver for France, and Cornelia Hütter of Austria in third with the bronze. All right, we are again off tomorrow. There are no alpine ski races. Saturday and Sunday we have men's giant slalom and then women's giant slalom. Saturday the men's, Sunday the women. And then next week, I think it's Monday and Wednesday for the men's slalom and the women's slalom, respectively. So we'll see you all on Saturday. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Bye now.